we stand together, we'll never fall. We can make a difference and answer the call.
Hi there, and welcome back to another episode of the All Around Growth Podcast, the show that provides insight and tools to build the life and homestead of your dreams. My name is Rob Kaiser, and I am your host. Today is Friday, April 8th, 2022, and it is an audience feedback show because it is a Friday. And today, because these audience feedback shows are somewhat new, I am finding myself digging back through old notes and old potential show topics that I created for myself a long time ago. And some of this stuff lacks the context that it used to. So if you have some thoughts or ideas that you want to share with me or you want to hear me talk about, then by all means, jump into the group chat at t.me/allaroundgrowth. or send me an email at allaroundgrowth@gmail.com, and I will be happy to cover your question or feedback when you send it in. So today, this podcast idea or the show topic is called The Art of De-Escalation. And my comment to clarify was as in having an argument with like your girlfriend or spouse, etc. And he wrote, no, knowing when to de-escalate and knowing when to hold your ground. And then he explained that something happened at work and that his employer had been cutting hours and that someone there hadn't been getting his hours cut. So this individual who messaged me and sent me this feedback wrote that he made an offhanded comment to the other people about him. Said something like, I wonder whose dick he is sucking to not get his time cut. And apparently word got back to somebody, or I don't know what happened, but the art of de-escalation. All right, so this is kind of appropriate because I have found myself lately to feel the need to be proactive with communication in order to prevent some of these situations that need de-escalating. And also to try to de-escalate the current situation that I'm already in. So the key word here, I think, is communication. Because if we're not communicating, we are simply letting that which fuels our disdain build up inside of us. And like a pimple or a cyst or a boil, it builds and the pressure builds. And because it's filled with filth, once it reaches a head, what comes out is not good. And oftentimes we find ourselves having to de-escalate a situation that we've created with a comment along the lines of, well, I wonder whose dick he is sucking to not get his time cut. You know what? If there's somebody there that's not having something done to them that's being done to you, why do you care? And also, like, why do you choose to stay there, dude? Like, I know that maybe you've got your time in and you're waiting to put in your extra time to get the gold watch or whatever. Like, and that's cool. But is it worth it? Like, I don't know. I mean, and if you've made the decision that it is, like, what, like, and you've decided that the pros outweigh the cons, and you're going to continue to eat that shit sandwich for the next X amount of years until you get said gold watch or pension or retirement or whatever it is that you're in it for. Like, what are you doing to cope with it? I guess is the question. You know, because it sounds like sometimes we can only de-escalate so much, you know, because we're in situations with people that can't change or that won't change. So we've got a time frame now, you know, a goal in mind, 6 months, 6 years, whatever the case may be. We know what the future has in store. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it isn't an oncoming freight train. We begin to understand our why. And I guess my question for you that's challenged with this, that has presented the idea of the art of de-escalation as a show topic, is that a question that you can understand? Is that a question that you can answer? Do you understand your why? Are you comfortable with your life? And if not, why not? You know, because I think that the whole reason we find ourselves thinking about and contemplating ways that we can de-escalate situations is because we are reactive. And we find ourselves reacting to a situation or a set of circumstances that we find undesirable, instead of observing what's going on, processing the information, and then responding accordingly. If necessary, we immediately react, because these things that are going on in life, in our life that's out of balance, serve as triggers, and we are not adequately prepared to deal with it. And I'm no master, I'm no guru, right? You know, if you go back and listen to some of the early episodes of the show that only go back a year or two ago, this is actually an idea for a show from March of 2021. You know, so this show goes back to the era of the pandemic. Something akin to doing something with my life other than wringing my hands and complaining about the pandemic. I decided to do something. And that same principle applies to this. Okay, so somebody's hours are getting cut at work, or something's happening that I don't particularly like, but it doesn't really impact me. So what? And so let's presume that this, like, my hours are getting cut, but this individual's hours aren't. Like, other than the financial aspect of it, how does that really impact me? Does that increase my workload? Does that increase my burden while I'm there? Or am I just upset because, I don't know, like, let's examine why we're upset in the first place. Because I think when we really begin to dig in and unpack all of these aspects of our life, and we get down to the root cause of what's going on, we begin to find that the things that trigger us once we begin to truly understand them, they oftentimes, I don't want to just say stop triggering us, but the manner in, or the way in which they trigger us changes. We are oftentimes triggered less than we were. And for me, in my case, and how this works is, it's been a combination of two things. It's been a combination of behavioral health and therapy, working with a behavioral health therapist, and also cleaning up my diet, which has allowed me to think more clearly, get healthier, and achieve better results with this behavioral health therapist. And actually doing the work and writing, journaling on the topics that are suggested to me after our meetings together, and also doing some writing through a process called self-authoring. All of that has involved deep introspection and a lot of work and trying to figure out why I have the problems that I have. And oftentimes the reality is that the problems that I have are of my own making due to decisions that I've made. And once I began to understand that wholly, my problems began to subside and I began to find solutions a little bit easier. So I hope that provides a little bit of insight into the art of de-escalation, and hopefully the mitigation of it and the prevention of it. Guys, that's it for this Friday. I look forward to catching you on another episode Monday morning. This is Rob Kaiser, and thank you.
What can I do? The needs are many and answers a few. People turn away and I wonder why. If I can help somebody, then I want to try. People may think that it's odd that I believe in friendship and love. And truth is always the best way to the world that may seem odd. I'm an odd fellow. I'm an odd fellow. I'm an odd fellow. If we stand together, we'll never fall. We can make a difference and answer the call. We know the times are wasting every day, and we can help somebody along the way. People may think that it's odd that I believe in friendship and love. Truth is always the best way to the world that may seem odd. I'm an odd fellow. You're an odd